Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in this world. I want you to stop for 1 second, not just with your body, but with your mind, your heart. Do me a favor. Breathe deep. Feel that breath in your lungs, that heartbeat in your chest. That right there, my friends, is proof that you are still here. And because you're still here, it means God still has something beautiful to do through you. So today I want to speak to the part of you that sometimes feels invisible. The part that tries and tries and tries, but still feels unnoticed. The part that wonders, does God even see me? The answer from Matthew 12 is a loud, undeniable, unwavering yes. Matthew 12 is not just another chapter in the Bible. It's a love letter to the exhausted. It's a rescue mission for the ones who thought they were disqualified. It's a battle cry against every lie that has ever told you that you are not enough. Look at how this chapter begins. Jesus and his disciples are walking through the grain fields on the Sabbath. They're tired, they're hungry, they're simply trying to make it through another day. The religious elite see this, and instead of offering help, they offer judgment. Look at them, they sneer, breaking the rules. But Jesus, sweet Jesus, doesn't rush to defend himself by quoting law after law. He speaks something so much deeper. He says, if you had known what these words mean, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the innocent. Mercy over performance, love over appearances, heart over hollow ritual. And some of you have been living your lives thinking you have to earn love, earn belonging, or earn your way into God's good grace. But Matthew 12 tears that lie down and lights it on fire. God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for hearts that are open, bruised though they may be. And the story moves into the synagogue next. A man is there with a withered hand. His hand, his livelihood, his dignity shriveled before the watching world. Imagine him hiding in the back, hoping nobody notices, shrinking smaller every time someone lays a hand on him. You ever feel that way? I have. But luckily in this case, Jesus notices. And not with judgment, not with shame. It's an invitation. He calls him to stand at the center, where all the eyes could see, and says, stretch out your hand. Stretch out what you're ashamed of. Stretch out what you think is useless. Stretch out your weakness, not your strength. And the man does. And in the stretch, not in the hiding, he is healed. Now, there is healing for you too, but it won't be found in hiding your scars. It will come when you dare to stretch them toward God. When you stop pretending you are fine and say, here I am, Lord, broken but willing. And what happens next in Matthew 12 is both heartbreaking and revealing. The religious leaders, faced with a miracle right in front of their eyes, don't rejoice. They plot to kill Jesus. And why? Because he broke their expectations. Because his mercy offended their systems. Because his love upended their control. And friends, sometimes when you start healing, when you start stepping into who you really are, who you were created to be, not everyone is going to clap for you. Some people are more comfortable with you broken. But you weren't created to live small just to make other people feel comfortable. That would be ridiculous. You were made to rise. Jesus, knowing the plots against him, doesn't back down. Instead, he keeps healing. He keeps loving. He keeps reaching. And Matthew says something extraordinary here. He says, "A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out, till he has brought justice through to victory." Now, a bruised reed, a smoldering wick, that's you and that's me. Bent under the storms of life, barely holding on some days. But Jesus doesn't snap you in two. He doesn't blow you out. He nurses you back to strength. He shields you from the winds. He fans the little flame in you until it roars back to life. Later in this chapter, Jesus speaks about the inner battle, warning that it's not enough to clean up the outside if the inside stays empty. We must be filled with His Spirit, with His life, or else the world's chaos will flood back in. Because you see, healing isn't just about being fixed. It's about being filled with love, filled with purpose, filled with our God. And then, that breathtaking moment when Jesus is told that his mother and brothers are outside waiting to speak to him, and he looks at those gathered around him, the sinners, the wounded, the weary, and says, "Here are my mother and my brothers, for whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." He looks at them and he looks at you and says, "You belong to me. You are my family, and I'm not ashamed to call you mine." So, what does all this mean for you today in the middle of your real, messy life? It means that you're not forgotten. It means your weakness is not your disqualification. It's the canvas for God's miracle. It means healing is not just possible. It is promised to those who stretch their brokenness toward Him. It means you have a place at His table, no matter what labels the world has stuck on you. It means you were born to overcome, not to be crushed by life's battles. It means Jesus is not embarrassed by your bruises or the faint flicker of your hope. He treasures them. He fights for them. He fans them into flame. You were not made for defeat. You were made for victory. And God Himself is walking beside you, guarding you, calling you forward, refusing to let your story end in ashes. So today, stretch out your hand, stretch out your heart, and stretch out your hope. And even if your faith feels like it's hanging by a thread, that thread is enough for a miracle. The bruised reed will stand tall again. The smoldering wick will blaze into an unstoppable fire. And your story will declare to the world, God was not finished with me. He was just getting started. Amen. Hope you have a beautiful day, my friends. God bless you. Bye-bye.